I like my food local.
Ready?
I know where my cows have been. I like my food local.
Hi, my name is Hans-Peter Meyer, and today I'm talking to Vickey Brown. Vickey is the manager with the Comox Valley Farmers Market, and we're going to be talking to Vickey about, or Vickey's going to be telling us just some things that are happening at the market, what it's about, and that kind of thing.
Yes, one of the things I've noticed about the farmers market since I started is that there's a natural rotation of farmers. So farmers grow, they start at the farmers market, they get a customer base, they figure out what they need to grow, what's in demand, and then they grow up, they tend to grow up and out of the market. So the last farm that did that was Freedom Farm. They have a huge farm and they were able to produce a ton of produce, and now that they've moved on, other smaller farmers are bringing more product to the market, and there's a bit of a lag between, so we're not seeing as much product on the field, but we're seeing new farmers come up, and so I'm realizing that the farmers market provides that function. It's a farm growing machine.
Right, so it's not just about food, it's about growing our local capacity to produce food. So are people missing things like Freedom? And they're not the only one, right? They're not the first, they're not the only farm that's gone through this cycle. Maybe you can talk about some of the other ones, but are people missing the kind of capacity that Freedom brought to the market?
I think there's a little bit of that. I think those people who can't get there early are the ones that are suffering the most, so do try and come early. By 11 o'clock, a lot of people are sold out. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that's missing because Freedom's gone. But we've also gained, other farms that have grown up and out of the market are farms like DKT Ranch, which is available in local retail operations now, Pattison Farms, Tannadice Farms. So they do, I don't know how many years on average at the market, and then they find that they've got enough of a customer base or enough retail base that they can move on. And that's when we did our surveys last year, we realized that one of the most important, or the most important thing to the vendors at the farmers market was creating those relationships with potential buyers, but also with each other, finding synergies between vendors, and then doing their market product testing at the farmers market.
So you don't the market doesn't feel like, oh, you've done all, we've created a home for you and now you have to leave. You don't feel jealous of their product or their success?
No, we're happy to see them get to that size that they can go on and supply. It's really difficult for farmers to get themselves into retail operations because as a retail operation, you need a secure supply of product. Mm-hmm. And when you're an up-and-coming farmer, you just can't guarantee that you've got enough product for them. So it takes a farm a while to get to that level of production. Mm-hmm. And once they're there, that's great. We'd love for them to stay, and they're more than welcome to stay, but it's also allows space for other farmers to bring more product because there is there's only so much money coming into the farmers market that spreads around, and the more it spreads around, the more it's supporting new farmers.
So who are some of these new farmers, and what can we expect to see with them?
Lots of new veggie farmers, which is great. We have Birds and Beans, which is just joining us. So their first market will be this weekend, and then.
So what weekend are we talking about?
July 13th. Right. And they're growing. They're going to try and grow some grains. They're growing veggies, and they're also growing chicken. Mm-hmm. So eggs and chicken. And Clever Crow is growing veggies, produce, and also harvesting sea salt and making spice mixes. Forbidden Fruit Farm is growing veggies, and he's created plant fertilizer mixes and really interesting products like that. And who else?
What about CSA? So you've got Merville.
Oh, right. Merville Organics is the other new one. So that's a combination. That's a Mara Farm and Ripple Creek Farm. Ripple Farm. I think. Ripple Farm. And they're now Merville Organics, so they're another up-and-coming farm.
Right. So how does that work with because they're a CSA. So CSA, it's Community Support Agriculture, so they supply boxes. Do you have other vendors who are doing that kind of work?
Not very many. I think Forbidden Fruit is also doing a box program, but we have very few CSAs in the valley. We have Sunshine Organics, and then we have Merville Organics and Forbidden Fruit. I don't know whether any.
I think Innisfree is also one.
Innisfree, right? Of course, yeah.
So we've got the farmers that have been very successful and moved on to their own retail operations. We've got some new people coming in to hopefully fill in the void. But there are some mainstays that have been there for a long time. And who are they?
Arden Farm's been there from the very beginning. He grows fabulous produce, and he's stayed on. Some farmers just find that they reach a particular capacity, and that's as far as they want to grow. That may be the size of their land, it may be their own personal choice, it may be that they've got off-farm income that they enjoy. So we have a few of those. Arden Farm is one of those. Grantham Farm has been at the market since the beginning, and he's stayed. Ironwood Farm basically gets is one of the few farms at the market that is solely supported by their farm product, so they do not have off-farm income, which congratulations to them. It's terribly difficult to do, and they have their farm stand and they have the farmers market, and they've chosen. But we need those vendors with that experience at the market, because they chit-chat with the new vendors and give them tips, and so they get growing tips, they get marketing tips, that's part of that function of the relationships at the farmers market. Right.
Well, that's what I've gotten from the interviews that I've done with vendors, is just how much they've appreciated the support from other growers, and so that history and that knowledge is really important. So we're in the middle of July as I interview this, or not quite the middle of July. We don't want to rush the summer, but so there's lots of food coming on. But there's fresh stuff happening at the market all year round, and the market is doing some things to focus on those. Can you talk a bit about what we've got coming up this summer, and maybe what we can look for in the kind of cooler season when we don't think about fresh food in our region?
Yeah, so one of the things I've realized over the years I've been here is that there are still people in the valley who don't know what food is available seasonally here. So one of the things we're doing this year at the market is monthly food festivals. So we pick a product that's in season. So July, in May it was spot prawns. We had a little spot prawn festival. Now we're doing berries because all the berries are coming on, so we'll have blueberries, tayberries, raspberries, I don't know, Saskatoon berries I think somebody brings, and then these other funky little blueberries that I can't remember the name of. So there's a ton of berries at the market right now, so we're featuring those. We'll feature squash at some point. We're doing a tomato festival, all in the hopes of raising awareness around what's grown locally. So, and because we are a year-round farmers market, we have the opportunity to demonstrate that year-round. So when we move inside, we'll have tons of squash and root vegetables, and that carries us through to probably early December. Then the cranberries will come on, and then over the January, February, about the leanest times at the market for fresh product, but we'll always have sprouts and microgreens from Eat More, and we have another sprout grower at the farmers market. And then we're lucky enough in this valley to have a plethora of ranchers and poultry growers. So there's always protein at the market, as well as yogurt and gelato and cheese.
Right. So we're talking about bison, island bison. We're talking about a fair number of pork producers. We've got lots of chicken and some turkey. Two
turkey vendors, 2 pork vendors, bison, beef, lamb, goat. I think that's all of them.
Anybody talking about raising rabbit for sale?
Not yet, but it's a good idea because we have a lot of rabbits. There's rabbits on the field when we get there in the morning, and farmers are not fond of rabbits. So, yes, rabbits and deer probably should be on the menu for the Comox Valley, but not yet.
Okay, so anyway, we're in the middle of summer here, so the one coming up on July 20th, I believe, is berries. There'll be something else to look forward to in August and September. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me today, Vickey.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching.
See you at the farmers market.
Run my local
Say it again?
See you at the farmers market.
I just
Hold this for a second.
Sure.